Everybody thinks I need to get a sponsor. No. You need to get a network. A sponsor will get you one sponsor. A network will get you 20 sponsors.
You said that it blew up in 2023.
I went through this breakup and I was like, fuck it. Genuinely, like, what do I have to lose? It just kept getting bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger until we were number one. Then we had 5 million listens and we had 10 million listens. Oh my God, there is money on the table. Netflix is bringing 15 podcasts onto their platforms worldwide and they want you to do it. And I was like, that's a lie. So yes or no? And I was like, yes. Imagine if he didn't break up with me. Thank you. Really, anything can happen.
Welcome to Process the Podcast, a meeting of creative minds. Let's dive in. I'm so excited to chat to you.
I know.
Oh my God. You are like, the way that yesterday you were saying, for context, you were on stage at Dome Fest yesterday. You were the first one. The way that you were like, and then I got a Netflix deal, I was like, are you Alex Cooper of Australia? Because I literally feel like you are. But
I'm not as cool as
no
her.
one's swinging that big.
Thanks.
And I'm so excited to chat to you about it because it's just big.
Yeah, it is really big. It's really scary though. We'll talk all about like the little minuscule details of that.
Yeah, I can't
Because I do
wait.
feel like people see that stuff and they're like, that's really cool. And you're like, kind of makes your life fall apart for a hot second. Like it really does. Not to sound ungrateful for it, but I'm excited to chat to you about it.
Okay, so how do we like wrap up in a little bow who you are and what you do? Because yesterday they announced you, obviously, Jemma Sbeg, you have the #1 psychology podcast in the world.
Yes, technically, yes.
What do you mean technically? On the charts when you go like...
Yeah, but then also like the #1 podcast that like exclusively talks about psychology, but obviously like other podcasts talk about it sometimes. But for the podcasts that talk about psychology and psychology only, yeah, #1. And for people in their 20s, which is so cool.
Yeah.
Because we are like locked in, interested, intelligent generation, I think. So that I'm always very proud of our community for the fact that like so many people want to learn more about themselves.
Yeah, but the way that you were talking about it yesterday, you sort of, okay, so for context, how long did you have on stage?
I had about an hour.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you went through who you were, you did some milestones on the slides.
With the clicker not working. So it was kind of, I was going to be funnier about it, but it ended up just being very like serious.
Yeah. The
presentation.
the tech
the
issues.
The clicker.
And then you sort of went into talking about narcissists and then you dived into dopamine, which is fascinating, the stuff that you covered.
And love languages.
Yeah, which was...
I know nobody knows about the fact that the creator of love languages is like a Christian pastor.
And he looks like some fuddy-duddy bro that was like, and you mentioned he like discovered all of this from marriage counseling from Christians, that like the wives didn't want to fuck their husbands.
Their wives were like deeply unhappy. Like one of the women, and this is the research he based love languages on. One of the women comes in and goes, is it possible to love somebody that you hate? Speaking about her husband. And he was like, yeah, if you just have sex with him more. Because like your love languages aren't lined up. That was literally like how love languages came to be. It was his advice to Christian women who were struggling with...
You're doing God's work. Not, pardon the pun there, where you're like associated to that bro, but like...
It's so fascinating.
The fact that you just broke all of that down is crazy.
Yeah, people should look into it.
So how did you get to start the podcast?
So I started it after a breakup, which you would know from yesterday, but I started after a breakup. You know what? At the time, it was like the most serious thing in the world, and now I just see it as very divine. Like it was absolutely necessary in who I am today, and I actually have a lot of gratitude for that person.
Imagine if you didn't start the pod.
Oh, imagine if he didn't break up with me. God bless him. I mean, we got a real religious thing, but like, thank you. Like every day I honestly am like, gosh, I'm so glad that happened.
Yeah.
And then afterwards I was like, you know what, I'm also studying psychology at the same time. And I would keep having these conversations with my friends where they'd be like, this is really hard, or this really sucks, or why do I keep doing this? And I was like, I just read a paper about it. I just read this paper. Let me explain it to you. And we would sit and we would talk about all this research. And I was like, why is nobody doing a podcast about this?
Yeah.
And for context, I'm an OG podcast lover. In like probably as a teenager was an early adopter because my mum used to listen to This American Life. Don't know if you know that.
Yes, I love that.
Constantly when we were kids. So like since I was a child, I was listening to Ira Glass and David Sedaris and all of those people on This American Life. And so I always loved podcasts. And then when Dying for Sex came out and Serial, like the first mini-series podcast, like I remember listening to that when I was 14 years old and being like, this is the best medium ever. So I feel like it all kind of came to be where, I don't know. Do you know when you like have this realization when you look back and you're like, oh, this is what I was always meant to do?
100%.
I feel like we were having this moment before.
Absolutely. And I realized recently when I launched the Clubhouse podcast episode, I got really teary because on mic I had a realization. My parents have owned hotels my whole life and they sold it straight after COVID, and that piece of being able to invite people in and host people was like totally missing from my existence. And then the fact that like people can stay here, my mates can book it, like I can house people and give them a part of like put a roof over their head and give them a soft place to land essentially, which has been in my DNA forever. And then all of a sudden I'm like now doing it. It's so weird when you're like, it all was meant to be, and fulfilling that thing in you that like feels like it was missing. And I don't know what it was, but when like even when I was in high school, I used to make little mini podcast episodes of my notes. And then anytime we would I remember doing this uni assignment and there was like an option to make a podcast and I was like, I'm going to do that. At any time there was any kind of open format, I was always like, I'm going to just record myself. And I never thought about it until I went through this breakup. And I was like, fuck it. Genuinely, like, what do I have to lose? Nothing. And then I shared so much personal information online to the point where now, like, people who are early fans will come up to me and will tell me moments from my relationships in my life from early on that I'm like, how do you know that? Yeah, like we forget those parts about ourselves, but they like keep them.
I had somebody actually tell me yesterday, I was talking about an episode I actually did with my ex, and which was a whole thing.
Don't recommend it.
Oh, heck no. There's a reason nobody does it, because it's a terrible idea. But I did it and I learned from that lesson. But on it, like we shared this story of us seeing this double rainbow, like in the first couple of months that we were dating, and it's this really symbolic thing. And the story is incredibly intimate. And somebody came up to me yesterday and was like, oh, is this the ex you saw the double rainbow with? And I was like, why in the world did I share that? Like, that's just insane that I thought that was a good idea. So there was definitely like some lessons along the way. It was more of a personal diary, I think, than something I thought the world was going to listen to, which obviously now they do. How much do you share in order to be authentic, because that's what you would normally share with friends or people that you care about? And how much do you respect and keep things private? Yes, for other people, but for yourself as well. I feel like nobody finds the balance.
Interesting. You said that it blew up in 2023. What happened?
To be honest, I still don't know. I really? And I know it's really annoying, because people who want to start podcasts will be like, do you have any advice? And I genuinely am not gatekeeping when I say it was all word of mouth. Wow. And I think it was just resonated with people. Like, I do just think there was a gap and I hate to call podcasting a market, but there was a gap in the so-called market where young people wanted self-help and wellness advice and psychology advice that wasn't coming from somebody in their 40s and 50s. But also wasn't coming from somebody in their 20s who was just giving opinions. They wanted it to come, they wanted like real evidence to what they were consuming and hearing about from somebody who also was going to be like, and this just sucks as well, on top of the fact that the evidence says it sucks. I can tell you this sucks, your heartbreak sucks, looking for a job sucks, because I'm doing those things right now. And it really was word of mouth, and it happened quite quickly. And I was working my corporate job. I was a consultant. I was a management consultant. And which I actually really loved doing. I was giving it shit. I was shitting on it the other day, and I was like, it actually was I really thrived in that environment. But slowly it was like, I remember one day somebody was like, I started getting all these messages. Then I went on the Spotify charts one day, and I was like, somebody said, have you looked at the Spotify charts? I was like, I didn't even know that was a thing. And then I went and I was like, I'm like number 5.
Wow.
And then I had a massive freak out, because I was like, people expect things from me now. What am I going to do? Like, how am I going to fulfill this? It was really stressful. And then it just kept getting bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger until we were number 1. Then we had 5 million listens, and we had 10 million listens. Then
isn't it classic when we say we as well? We're just like
yeah, I know. I always do that. It's such an Australian thing. Have you noticed this?
No.
I have really noticed it since working with people in the UK and the US. They always say I. But I say we. Bear in mind, I didn't have a team. It was just literally was just me at that point.
We is me and my internet connection.
We is me and then the other person in the room, which is also me. Like
my personality.
My work personality, my at-home personality. And I think the moment I realized I need to quit my job was, firstly, I got recognized at a work thing that I was like, that's really weird. First time I'd ever been recognized, I think, and it was at a work thing, and I used to work in like mental health and child mental health, and like in the projects I was doing for management consulting, I worked with like some pretty serious situations, talking to some people who had very intense jobs, and I just felt at that moment I was like, oh, are they gonna want to share with me as much, knowing that I have this online thing? And it was definitely a conversation. Then my work was like, your profile on our website is getting more clicks than the CEO.
You're like,
Have you? And I remember, I remember something like, did you get in trouble? Like, did you get arrested? Like, was there like an article about
like a
you?
media spike?
Yeah, they were like, they genuinely had to pull me in and be like, I think something is the matter. Like, I think they thought I'd done something that had like made a headline.
You're like,
and then
I'm viral. What's up?
yeah, and I was like, I don't know. And they were like, well, as long as it's nothing serious, I guess. Like, and then I started just making more money, and I was like, I'm such a cautious person, especially with money.
Okay.
So I was like, I was making more money out of the podcast for over a year.
Oh, wow.
And I was like, I can't quit. And at that point, I had an agent near the end of this, and she was like, you cannot do both. Like, it's just not possible to do both. So you're going to have to do it. And so, I quit my job actually 3 years ago this week.
Wow.
Yeah.
And you just hit your 400th
episode.
Oh my God.
5-year anniversary coming up as well.
Oh my God.
Well, I think it was last week. It's around this time.
Mm-hmm.
And it just keeps getting bigger. I'm like kind of stressed about what's next, because I feel like it can't get any bigger, but I'm ready for the next challenge. Yeah, I know. I'm like, what are we going to do? I think I'm going to start bringing some more guests on. I don't know.
Yeah, amazing.
Yeah.
So talk to me about the ads and how you were making money, because it's psychology. What kind of brands were you attracting?
Oh, I love this question.
And also, we were talking about like beautiful furniture before, and the ask question. You were like, I don't know necessarily how to ask for that, but then you obviously like, you've done brand deals, so there's something going on. You're doing something right.
I think so. Well, I will say I have an amazing partnership with iHeartRadio.
Yeah, okay.
And they actually are just an incredible company to work with. They are fantastic. They really understood the vision. I think I'm one of their only podcasts that isn't in the US who they work with. And they just brought me brands that were just going to work really well with the audience.
Right.
Who have we worked with? Airbnb. My God, I literally just did a bunch of ads this morning. HelloFresh, who I actually use HelloFresh. I love HelloFresh.
I love HelloFresh.
I genuinely am like a big fan. This isn't like
HelloFresh like got me and my family through COVID.
Yeah,
like
me
it
too.
would get delivered and I was in charge of cooking every night. And I was like, what do we want, everyone? And at lunchtime I would show everyone the photos, and they got to choose, like under my roof of my brother, mum and dad. Yeah. And then at dinner I would cook it all. Oh my God, the best bonding ever.
I know, it really is. Also, like I think it taught my boyfriend how to cook.
Yeah.
He's like genuinely learned how to cook with HelloFresh, so I'm forever grateful, because he's a great cook now. I'm on top of my head, Pandora,
great.
Abercrombie and Fitch. Honestly, any brand you can think of, we've probably worked with.
Okay. So when did iHeart come into the piece for you?
When I quit my job. That was why I quit my job, because they were kind of like, you're still working, like you're gonna need I started doing 2 episodes a week.
Yeah, which is
40
huge.
minutes. Now I do 3, which is insane. To be honest.
Are these all video as well?
Yeah, 2 of them a week of video now. So 2 video episodes a week. So it makes it hard whenever you want to do anything. Like you want to go on holiday.
Yeah.
You want to go to a wedding. Like a friend of mine is getting married, and it's like a week-long wedding. And I was like, so you've just got to get ahead of.
Batch,
yeah, you just got to batch record. But there's so much research that goes into them. So now I have 2 researchers who are incredible, and I'm so grateful for them. One of whom is a PhD, and the other one has worked in research for like many, many years, and they just go for it.
When did researchers come into it?
Only a year ago.
Okay.
So up until a year ago, I was doing all my own research for 2 episodes a week.
Wow.
And that was getting a lot.
Sounds like it.
Yeah.
And recording and doing the production.
Yeah. And editing at the time as well.
So now you don't edit?
Now I don't edit anymore.
Okay.
But this has all happened in the last 3 months.
Netflix, email. How did this come about?
So what people don't know is I signed my Netflix deal. 4 hours later, I got on a plane and moved my entire life to London. My agent calls me and she actually texts me and she goes, I've got the craziest news for you. You're never going to believe this. And I was like, oh my God, like she lived in London at the time. I was like, she's going to be in London. She's going to stay in London. She was planning on moving back to LA or to New York. And I was like, and I really like her and I think we have a great friendship.
And you were living in Sydney at this
I was
point?
living in Sydney, but I was about to move to London.
Okay.
So I was like, oh, this is just her telling me that she's going to be in London. Didn't think about it. I really rarely think that it's going to be good news. I just try and keep that out of my mind. And then she's like, I missed her message. She's like, I have to go to sleep. I'm going to call you in the morning. She was in London, so I had to wait a whole day being like, oh, what's she going to tell me? She goes, are you sitting down? And I was like, oh, no, just tell me. She goes, I just got off the phone last night with iHeart and Netflix. And Netflix is bringing 15 podcasts onto their platforms worldwide and they want you to do it. And I was like, that's a lie. Thank you very much for the prank. You're lying to me.
Cheers.
And she's like, it's moving really quick, so yes or no. And I was like, yes, obviously. And then I didn't tell anybody. I told my dad. I didn't even tell my partner because I was like, I cannot jinx this.
Yeah.
And then I was like, all right, Jemma, this is not happening. You cannot think that it's going to happen because these things fall through all the time.
Yeah.
Do not get your hopes up. Do not get your ego up. And this sounds kind of weird, but I was like, I have to work tonight. I was like, cool. I've got this call. I'm not going to go and I think I got the call at 6 p.m. I was like, go and do some work. And so I literally sat down and worked for 4 more hours that night because I was just like, I don't know. I just was like, I need to put it into the universe that I'm going to work hard for this or whatever it was. It's just an instinct for me of when good things happen, you work harder.
Yeah.
So I remember I made this post about, I don't even know, run clubs or something. And it actually ended up going viral. I think it got 4 million views or something like that. I mean, crazy. And then I didn't hear anything about the deal for ages. And then I genuinely was like, it's actually not happening. And at that point, I told some of my friends and was like, because I was sad. I was like, oh, I got this opportunity, but it's not happening now. Which I just made up in my head, right? They hadn't said anything to me about it not happening. I just hadn't heard anything.
Yeah.
So I told my friend Al and my friend Maddie, and they were like, you know what? It's going to be okay. You're going to just focus more on these other things. You're going to go write another book. You're going to be fine. And then I get the call. I'm planning on moving to London. And genuinely, I was like, I'm going to move to London. I'm going to go and write my second book. I'm going to take 3 months off, write my second book, travel a bunch. I'm going to just focus on something else other than the podcast for a little while. And then it was like, no, your whole plans are changed. So we were meant to be in Paris for 2 weeks, and then they called and were like, we need the videos. So come home. We need to you got to get into a studio on the 1st of January. So everything is moving so quickly. I know there's so many moving parts. So I signed the contract. I literally head to the airport 1 hour later, move country, say goodbye to my family, say goodbye to my beautiful dog.
So nothing to do with Netflix triggered the move to London?
No, it was already planned.
Okay.
And we were our flights were booked.
Okay.
And then I was on the plane and I remember being oh my God.
It's happening.
Yeah. And being a bit I don't know if I'm ready for this or prepared. And I wasn't prepared, but let's just figure it out as we go along. So I didn't have a studio. I didn't have anybody on my team in London at the time.
Yeah.
I had one researcher on my staff. That was it. And Netflix was we need 96 episodes a year.
How many? 2 a week?
2 a week.
Yeah.
Starting, and I didn't hear anything. And then January 1st, I'm on holiday with my family. I'm in Norway or something for my mum's big 60th trip. Actually, my best friend was there with her boyfriend. Thank gosh they were there because I got this email from the team being hey, just letting you know we're launching on the 26th of January.
Right.
So, and I'm on holiday. I'm not meant to be back until the 20th of January. They're so we need your episodes 2 weeks. We need all the episodes for January, and then we need 2 weeks in addition from the 26th of Jan. So when can we get those from you? And I was like, I guess, sorry, like we're going home. So we went back to London on like the 2nd of Jan and got into the studio on like the 4th to do it all.
Wow.
Sorry, I talked a lot just then.
No, you.
How insane is that?
Have you told this story before?
No, I don't think so.
Yeah, because it feels very like this is falling out of your mouth as you're saying it. I can see the inner workings.
The process. But you know, I feel like this is a great podcast to share it on. And for people who are like, that looks so much fun, I'm like, yeah, it's amazing.
The pressure.
You have no idea like how much it upends your life in a way and like changes your plans. And when you work with big companies like that, and I will say they've been incredible partners, like so brilliant, so supportive. They get the vision. They got me a new studio. They've helped with production. iHeart and Netflix like have been so good. But it is like when you are, how old was I when that happened? Like 25. And it is like people think that you have this whole team around you and you don't. And so they're thinking like, oh yeah, this girl's got, you know, a production cut or whatever. And I just didn't. So it was like a big adjustment very quickly to realize I had not created the support around myself that I probably needed.
Wow. So Alex Cooper has said on the burnouts.
I love that episode.
Yeah, she was talking about how like regardless, lump sum, she got paid every month. And she was like, yeah, and I just did these episodes like regardless. I just had to deliver them and it would happen. And she was like, it took her a really long time to actually like be okay with that and be like, oh, this is what's happening now. Now that you're there and you're at this like Netflix, iHeart, what have you learned about this industry, do you think, that you didn't know before?
Oh, it moves so fast. You got to be ready to say yes to everything really quickly. Yeah, like if it just moves so quickly.
Do you think that people know how big podcasting is as an industry? Like we really underestimate it, don't we?
Oh my God, there is money on the table. Like, and it's just there. There is money on the table. I have friends, this you can include, like I have friends making $5 million, $10 million, $20 million from podcasting. I'm not making that much.
Whoa.
Trust me. I think if people knew, they would know I'm not at that level, but yeah. And the deals that get done, how my deal works, and this is something I think is so important to talk about if you are an up and coming podcaster. Yeah. Everybody thinks I need to get a sponsor. Yeah. No, you need to get a network. Okay. A network will get you 20 sponsors. A sponsor will get you one sponsor. I think in the early days I had 2 or 3 sponsors and they would buy individual slots. Everybody always gives me so much shit about ads. So when you have a podcast episode, you typically have front end ads, back end ads, mid roll ads. Front roll, you can have anywhere between 1 to 2 ads placements. Normally you want to sit around the 1 to 2 mark, right? You might have 1 ad play there, maybe 2. Mid roll, same, 1 to 2. End roll, 2 to 3. That's typical. The more listeners you get, the more advertisers want to put more slots. So now, and when you sign contracts with networks, you don't really get to decide how many like slots. You have like imagine it like seats to fill. Yeah. Right? There's 2 seats to fill at the start of the podcast. Whoever pays the most. I always imagine it like a magazine, you know how at the front pages, there's like that way. There's Dior doing a double spread, then you've got Armani doing one. Like the magazine needs to sell. It's like that slot. Yeah. Actually, I love that way of putting it. That's a much better, more creative way of putting it than like seats at an airport. See, this is why taking off together. This is why you are the creative person. And so brands will come to you and say they can either have a 30-second slot, 60-second slot, 120-second slot. Yeah. So that means they either get half a page, 1 page, 2 pages. But there's always, 3 to 4 pages or 3 pages reserved for ads. A network will get you enough people to fill all those pages. Getting a sponsor or just a sponsor will fill all those pages for you. But because you don't have other people filling those pages, they're going to pay a lower rate. Yes. Right? And you might also have pages that are empty, which if you're trying to make money off a magazine or off a podcast, you don't want slots empty. Yeah. Because that means you're not getting paid money. So in my deal with iHeart, and I don't think this is done anymore, but when you join a network at times, what will happen is you get a minimum guarantee. So they look at your podcast, they go, cool, Jemma's putting out 2 episodes a week. She has my episodes are longer than 40 minutes. So I actually have 2 mid-roll ad slots,
Mm-hmm.
one every 15 minutes. So one at 15, one at 30, and then one at the end at 40 or 45. That means that Jemma could sell let's go 12 ads per podcast. 3 per slot. There's 4 slots. She could sell 12 ads. 12 ads twice a week, 24 ads times 52. And you're starting to figure out how much people are paying for those ads. I actually don't know, to be honest, how much people pay for ads on my podcast. I actually have no clue because I have a minimum guarantee. So no matter what happens, iHeart will pay me this amount of money like a salary. And on the Burnouts with Alex Cooper, she had a similar deal with Spotify.
Yeah.
Then you can make fresh cash on top of that. So if you make your minimum guarantee, say your minimum guarantee is $100,000 and you make all that money back in the first 3 months, any money you make on top of that, you get 50% of it.
Right. So it's the 50% that they take.
Yeah.
Did you feel like that was a lot at the start?
I did, but I also thought it was very fair. I actually don't know what my split is at the moment. I actually think it's more in my favor. But I'm just so lucky that I have a partnership with them where if I don't want to do a certain ad, I don't have to do it.
So they run it past you. To be like, you agree with this kind of company and whatever.
Yeah, I have this big portal what they'll send through anybody who wants to advertise, and I can say yes or no. And if I say no, they go no questions asked. We understand.
Wow.
And I also I don't do any weight loss. I don't do any alcohol. I don't do any tobacco. I don't do any gambling. I don't do any nicotine in full stop. Nothing that's addictive. Nothing that could be triggering for people who have substance abuse issues or eating disorder, anything like that. So, and there's a lot of money in that.
Yeah.
There's a lot of money, especially in gambling at the moment.
Yes.
And I just would never do that. And I feel like they can be making a lot more money off me, and they're really happy to not, because I said no, which I love.
Wow.
There's
so
the
Netflix element. How does that work?
This is a new type of deal.
Yeah.
I have no context as to whether this is normal or not, but Netflix essentially approached iHeart and said, we want these shows, and all of them were pretty iconic shows, like My Favorite Murder, The Breakfast Club, I don't know if you know them, Bobby Cast, like a bunch of ones that were like, so I'm kind of like, I don't know how I ended up here, but thank you.
And you're the only Aussie.
Only Aussie. So they come to iHeart and are like, we want that show. We will pay you, let's say, $10,000 to have the exclusive
video. Okay.
And then I get and then it's split between.
Were you concerned about dropping off of YouTube?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely. But I still post shorts.
Yeah.
And I still have some of my old videos up there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like your whole catalogue.
My whole catalogue is still there, yeah. So people can go back and watch it. But definitely a little bit concerned about it. But also, if I'm being real, I wasn't making any money off of YouTube.
Yeah, okay.
And you can't say no to Netflix. I love YouTube, I really do. I think they're a great platform, the best.
Yeah.
But Netflix is also really cool.
It's
It's Netflix. You can't really say no. It would be a bit ridiculous. I understand why some people maybe I'm sure, not to speak for them, but some of those other podcasts were making bank off their YouTube channels.
Yeah.
I was making $60 a day or something.
Yeah.
Probably less actually, probably $6 a day.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to say no to a Netflix offer.
The way that your production is set up, how did that change when you went from having your studio and kind of just doing it the way that you did it to now the studio that you record knowing the video is going on Netflix? Yeah.
So how it was previously was I was working with MIK in Sydney. Mm-hmm. Fantastic people to work with. If anybody needs a studio, I would just be like, cool, I'm going to do one video a week on YouTube, go in, record it, have my little teleprompter. Bye guys, see you later. Go home, edit it. Or actually iHeart would occasionally help me edit it, upload it, and would not think about it.
Yeah, okay.
Also would not promote it. Silly, right?
Yeah. But like we're busy. It's hard when you're like promoting yourself on video is a really hard thing to do.
I agree. I also found that, you know what I realized yesterday was one of my best friends, and I mean one of my best friends, she also used to work for me as well with the Psychology of Your 20s. She's responsible for all of our branding. Sarah Stephanie Scott. Hit her up. She's amazing. She works for Red Bull now, so maybe she's not available for a job, but I just have to give her so much credit. She didn't know that we were on Netflix in Australia because I don't talk about it enough. And I was like, if there's one person who probably should know, she was like, you do not say it. Like, you need to tell people that it's like available. So I need to be better with the self-promotion.
Mm-hmm. So now, what is the studio setup in London?
Studio setup, I work with Audio Always. So they do Help I Sex With My Boss. They do Girls Bathroom, just to name two that some people might know. And God, walking into that space was like, you guys have it. You guys know what's going on.
Okay.
So they now do all of my production. I record there. I do video and audio there.
So is it your set?
It's my set.
And it's just there?
Just there, always.
Because you've got photos of you and your partner there. Is that you and your partner?
On the set?
On the set?
Yeah, in the background. Yeah. So that's my set. Yeah.
Okay.
No, it's a random guy. Yeah, me and Tom.
No, but I knew it was like I didn't know if it was like a family member or something.
No.
I haven't zoomed in to be
my
like,
family member doesn't, I think that's of us kissing.
I haven't zoomed in, but I know that it's like
it'd be weird if you
photos. Who's that man? Yeah, but that could have gone two ways, because it could have been like, is that your dad? You'd be like, no, what the fuck?
Is that my boyfriend? No, it's my dad. Yeah, you were kind of in between a rock and a hard place there. Well, yeah, I appreciate that actually.
But like the niceties around what you've created is so living room.
I wanted to be like a 20-something living room. Yeah, where it was really like cute. Cool, yeah, it was like cool. This is like kind of looks a bit weird and a bit like, why is this here? And there's just it's maximalist, but I did want it to feel it's knickknacks. I wanted it to feel like a little 20-something bedroom. Yeah, or like space. I kind of want to change it though. I don't know.
What do you want to do?
I feel like I want to bring it back to the very cool energy of like I like just having a beautiful
calming and
calm, a much more
like
calm
minimalist
space. Yeah, much more minimalist space. Actually, like, pardon?
You can evolve.
I know, but then again, this is the other thing. It's like everybody's watching me, and it's like, no, they're not. Nobody really notices what somebody's studio looks like.
How old are you now?
26.
Yeah, so I think that it would make sense for you to evolve it. And also, what I love, and something I've been saying so much recently to people, is like, if you saw a hitchhiker on the side of the road, you'd be like, ooh, don't know if I'm going to help them. But if you saw a woman pushing a car alone on a road, you would probably get out and help. Like, that is a part of your evolution, and considering that and being like, oh, I want to feel different now. And I think you could probably even tie it to episodes about physical space or something. Yeah. And then do like a fun little vlog of you changing up the space and being like, this is the design vibe that I want to go with, so that we all feel invested in the choice of what you're doing, so that it feels like a part of our space as well. Yeah. Like that kind of piece. That's smart. Like, I feel like so many people came on the journey of this Clubhouse with me as well. And now when they see it like that, I put out that dude there. I was like, should we call him Sammy? And someone was like, no, Pascal. And now everybody knows that his name's Pascal. So like, you can bring them on the journey of it, you know? And then it's not like, hey guys, sorry, I had an erratic change. It's like the evolution of you.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. It's also like I had such a clear vision, and then I was like, wait, I just don't, sometimes the vision isn't what you want it to be. Yeah. So I think I'm going to change it. Yeah. And also, who cares?
Totally.
Whatever.
But also, we change our bedroom so much.
I know.
You know, we like move the bed and we're like, it's a new day. I'm a new woman.
As
you
a
know?
20-something.
Yeah.
Yeah, 20, 30, 40-something.
So it feels right for you to just be like, eh.
Yeah, doesn't look good anymore. Yeah. Well, it does look good. I do like it.
Yeah.
But I think that the vibe, I want to change it just slightly.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
I can see that.
Yeah.
So they handle all your production and editing?
Everything. All the editing.
Do you approve it?
I do. So they send me 2 a week, and I get in there and say, but something you might not know is all the episodes are scripted.
Okay. So you're on teleprompter?
Yeah, I've got a teleprompter. Oh. So like 5,000 word episodes on a teleprompter.
Shit.
So but
that's also easier for the editor, right? Because he can't sway. He's not like,
oh no, he's like, this is exactly what I want to say. Obviously at times, I would say about 60% of the episode is scripted. There will be like little ad libs here and there.
Little what?
You don't do. Yeah,
Yeah, I do
you
it
should
all
give
the
it.
fucking
You should
time.
give it a
I
go.
always do that. Just riffing.
Yeah, just riffing. And so he or she, I have I think 2 of them now.
Yeah.
Will know exactly what I do and don't want included.
Wow.
Which is so, it's just, they're so good at their job. And I just love working with people who are really good at their jobs.
Yeah,
Isn't it
it's
the best
crazy.
feeling?
Yes.
A lot of people I work with, I would say the majority of people I work with right now are really good at their jobs.
How do you go watching yourself in post?
I really can't do it.
But you have to approve it.
Yeah. Actually, can I be real? I don't watch it. I just listen to the audio.
Yeah, okay.
Which is probably bad.
No,
But I'll watch
don't
like
be
the
bad.
first bit. I'll watch maybe like 20 seconds just to be like, is the framing right?
Yeah.
And then I will just listen to the audio in the background.
I have the videos up and I don't like watch, I'm not glued to them. I like just listen to them, but I can just check that like the grade and stuff is fine. And then I have someone in the Philippines, Cess, shout out to Cess, she will watch them like, and she's not allowed to move her eyeballs. Like
Really?
check it that there's no glitches.
Oh,
Because you
she
just never
does
know what Premiere Pro
quality
is going to do.
assurance.
She does full like quality control, like
Wow.
watching it. And I'm like, don't go on your phone. You have to watch it.
You have to just sit there and watch it.
Because there's glitches. You
Oh
just
my
never
God.
know.
Yeah.
And like also it's embarrassing as somebody that has a production company if they are not great quality videos.
Do you edit them yourself?
My team does. I don't do
Yeah.
them. I can do them, but I don't.
I think it's important to know that you can.
Yeah.
And then that's something I always say, if you want to start a podcast, know how to do everything yourself first and then build the team up. That was so valuable for me.
Even like with the Rodecaster Video Pro, this is a new setup as such. This is difficult.
Yeah, oh, it is.
People say it makes it so much easier. It kind of doesn't. Like I kind of prefer being a bit of a cowboy on my iPhones and shit. Just like figuring it out.
Oh no, it's definitely hard. I feel like
Yeah.
once you get the nice fancy mics as well.
Yeah.
But knowing how to do it is so valuable because you're like, if I ever needed to start from scratch.
Yeah.
If I ever, I don't know, because I'm going to be podcasting probably till the day I die. Like, and it probably won't always be this well known.
Yeah.
So it's like, yeah.
Well, why say that? How did like that? Isn't the goal that it becomes more well known?
Well, I actually don't know what I want right now. It's actually,
Really?
yeah, I'm not too sure where I'm going.
I also am.
It's crazy how they just said that. I actually don't know anything. I've just got a lot of ideas that I'm marinating on. I just want to pick the one that feels like the most important to me.
Okay.
So I'm just thinking it through at the moment.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah, and one of them is going to be real, but I don't know. I'm a bit like, I'm loving what I'm doing with the psychology of your 20s, but I'm definitely like, what's the new direction?
Yeah, I feel like we sort of go where we're going because that's where the universe moved us. But it wasn't, you didn't like set your sights on Netflix. It
just happens. Yeah.
And then you're like, wow, I'm so privileged. And then you're like, whoa, this is what I'm doing now. But you didn't choose it.
Yeah.
And so then you're kind of like, it doesn't feel like it's your...
Obviously, I would choose Netflix again in a heartbeat.
Yeah.
But there were other things I had planned that now don't really fit in with what I'm doing. I think I need a new challenge as well. I'm ready for to start a business, to do something else. I also did a whole other podcast last year. It was called Mantra with this incredible team. They're called Pave Studios. Unfortunately, it just didn't make enough money, so we just didn't do another season, which is just the reality sometimes. But I really love doing that because I was like, I had something else. And right now it's just the psychology of your 20s,
Yeah.
and it's all, and I just feel again, like people are getting sick of me. Am I running out of ideas? And it's just, I need to diversify so that I can have the kind of more, the casualness towards it that allows for things to blossom. Do you know what I mean?
Yes.
When you're so like concentrated on something and like anytime it moves, you're like, you like put it back. And it's like, actually that movement could have taken you somewhere else that would have been amazing.
Yeah. So talk to me about that decision making that you're going through and having a psychology podcast. Do you totally disconnect like your own personal journey of like the unknown of what's coming? Like how do you go with that? Because would you ever voice to listeners that you're not sure?
I try and give them like a little life update. I need to be better at talking about what's going on in my life.
Within reason.
Within reason. I did it a lot. I was just thinking that. I definitely have said, like, when I've had hard times with my health, like I had a really terrible health scare last year and I was really open with it. It's pretty much okay now. So it's like, but I've always been really open about that. When we moved, I just did this homesickness episode where I was like, I just really don't like London. But I haven't shared about that. I also feel like it's a very privileged conversation to have.
To not know where you want to go.
Yeah, but to know that, to almost have too many options.
Yeah.
Because I've got like 3 things I really want to do right now, but I'm just trying to decide which one it is and what's the next I never think about business, but like what I want my life to be and how it fits in with my life.
Yeah.
And I think half the hesitation with some of the things I want to do, like I have this idea for a business that I really want to do, but it's just like, how much of my life and my time am I willing to sacrifice?
Yeah.
So it's just coming to figure out, like, you know, Netflix was such a huge thing. It takes up so much of my time to make that good. Do I have time to do something else well? Because if I'm not going to do it well, I really don't see the point in doing it.
Yeah.
Especially if like it's a business and people are going to spend their money on it, or it's going to become part of my life, and it will impact, like, I don't know, I go too deep with this, but I'm like, yeah, it will impact my relationship, like, and it will impact how often I get to see my friends, and it will impact how often I'm able to exercise or like look after myself. So it has to be worth it if I'm going to take a loss on some other important things in my life.
Yeah, not enough people really allocate the fact that something else will go. Like, you can't add something on. And I think a lot of people with New Year's habits and stuff are like, I'm going to add this onto my plate. It's like, whoa, but you have to remove something to be able to add that on. You don't get more time in the day just because it's a new year.
Exactly.
Like, you can't do that. So I'm the exact same, and I am so ambitious, and I am such an optimist in everything. So I'm just like, yeah, we'll work that out. Yeah, we'll work that out. But then it's like, I don't know if you will.
I know. Like, and the thing that I'm realizing is that like what am I gonna sacrifice is probably like quality.
Yes.
And that's something that I'm like, oh.
Yes.
But I feel like in the next year I'll be doing something fun. I need it. I need to do something fun.
Is there opportunity to do more fun things with Netflix, or like thrive in what you're already building, or do you feel like it's got to be something completely different?
I really want to do like another show, but to make it less podcast, more like a mini series, which I'm really excited about the idea of doing. But it just is going to take a lot from me to do it. But I've been thinking about it the whole time I've been in Australia. You would know this, and I'm sure a lot of your listeners will know this. As creative people, you get this idea and it's like do, and it just gets bigger and bigger, and you're like, God, I have to do something about this. Like, or
it'll burst out of you.
Yeah, it's going to. So I think I'm going to do that. Or there's this business I really want to do that I'm like thinking about. I was also just like, which one's going to be there in 3 years?
It's such a place of privilege, but I've had this conversation with one of my friends recently. It's really frustrating being really capable. I know how to do things, and I'm a very figure-outy person. And like a friend recently was like, oh, I need a website. Like, I've got to pay for a developer. No, you don't.
Make it.
I'll just do it. Just like buy me breakfast and I'll make you a Squarespace on the spot.
Did you do it?
No, not yet, but I will if they need the help. But like, it's frustrating being a figure-outable person, because it's like any like audacious dream that I have, it's fine. We could do that.
I love that in
but
people.
That's, you know, but
I
like,
know.
But that almost is the thing of like, there are so many options. It's tricky sometimes to be able to
rein
it in. And
do you have this thought of like, the other thing is that when you commit to something, you know, this is probably my issue, and I'm hearing that it's probably yours as well. When you commit to something, you're like, I'm strapped in now.
Yeah.
Like if I say I'm going to do something, it's like, oh, I have to do it now. Like I can't back out.
Yeah.
So it is, because I will give it everything. So it is actually something I have to be conscious of, is like when I do turn my obsession onto something, it is going to be a pedal to the metal situation.
For sure.
So like, I just say this to anybody, like, start a podcast. If you care about it enough to work really hard for it, obviously. But like, if you have the idea and you're having this bubble that I'm talking about, where you're like, do it. You'd have no idea like what could happen. It could just like completely change your life. Like, I really need to stress, like, I was a management consultant who had 600 followers. Yeah. On Instagram, and I had a private account. I had no social media presence. I didn't have TikTok. I had nothing.
Yeah. And
my podcast is now on Netflix.
Yeah.
So like, really anything can happen.
I want to talk to you about the literal creative process behind your pod.
Yeah.
You mentioned that you did your stuff on Canva, your artwork, and then Netflix were like, cool, we need that. And you're like, wait, I don't own it. I made it on Thingo. So there's been blips in your world. But when you are thinking of ideas for every episode, how does that happen?
We have a massive master list. Okay. Anything that comes up in day-to-day conversation, if I see a book about something, if I see a YouTube video about something, I just kind of take it for granted how easy it is to find inspiration. Yeah. But then also sometimes we'll have listener suggested episodes. I would say like every 4th or 5th episode is an episode that a listener said, I want an episode on this. And we're at the stage now where, we're 400 episodes in. There's only so much you can talk about.
Have you duplicated ideas? And
We
kind of
have
come
at
back to
times
things?
duplicated ideas, yeah, but talked about them in a different way. Like obviously, not caring about other people's opinions is a concept that comes up. We've probably done 3 episodes on. Attachment style, we've probably done 4 or 5. Being single, probably 3 or 4. You know, so there's repeat things that we have new takes on, but we're still coming up with new ideas. Like Monday's episode is on like micro trends, the psychology of micro trends. We're doing an episode on betrayal. We've never done anything on betrayal before, which is crazy. What else have we got on the agenda? So much stuff that just always. Yeah, there's always a new idea.
Do you ever feel like you're doing it because you need it?
Yeah, a lot. I've actually did this episode that's coming out in a couple of weeks called I Want to Do Everything So I Do Nothing.
Yes.
Which we were just talking about.
Yes.
And that's like an episode that I wrote for myself. And and so, yeah, people can listen to it. But no, it's for me. You know what I mean? Like I wrote that for myself really to be like, what advice would I give myself if I was somebody listening to my podcast?
Yeah.
And I honestly feel like those episodes do the best because I hate giving generic advice.
Yeah.
I hate it. I hate when it's like journal. Yeah, everybody knows that. Like it is great, but like it's not going to help. Like I want the techniques that are more in depth, more specific, more unique, more just I don't know. I like to go a bit deeper with that stuff and obviously I journal all the time and I do all those exercises and I meditate and I have my healthy like mental health routines, but sometimes I like to go a bit deeper into things, and I think that's what makes us stand out. Yeah, to say that myself, but you know.
Do you ever feel like episodes don't hit and then you overthink everything?
Always. Yeah, we've had a couple recently that just haven't hit.
What does that mean? Like views or
listens,
like just people being like, so the listens and like the
just
analytics?
No listens. Yeah, like we had an episode the other day that got like, I thought it was going to go like wild, and I'm going to say a number. It got like 50,000 listens. I think a lot of podcasts would be amazing, but for us, I was like, what has gone wrong? Like that nobody wanted to listen. And it was an episode that I was like, this is going to get like hundreds of thousands. And then we randomly have episodes where I'm like, this is just a one for me. Like I did one on Why is Whimsy So Powerful? Our content from that, I think we got 10 million views across the not the YouTube video, the Netflix video, the episode, and then like 3 pieces of content.
Wow.
And it was insane. So it's just, now I'm at the stage where I'm like, I've learned that you just can't predict it. So just whatever you think is going to be good, and I also have this idea of like, sometimes with content, I call it like throw spaghetti at the wall.
Yes.
Do you know that idea?
100%.
Just see what sticks.
Yes.
Yeah.
And you just never know.
Some
of the episodes, like we went viral recently on a TikTok that I forgot to put out video assets for Stephanie somebody, who that's her Instagram handle, and she's a brilliant art director. Yeah. And I just forgot to put her stuff on TikTok because I was really busy. And like it went up on Instagram, but it didn't go up on TikTok. And some of it went viral, and then we got 1,000 new followers on TikTok, which is like took us from 2,000 to 3,000 followers on TikTok.
Oh my God.
Like, and as a baby, that is huge.
That's what is that? 50% growth.
Yeah. So being able to just kind of be, it's also like having organization to be like, oh, okay, cool. Like, no, we have, and like consistency to do it all. It's where you least expect it sometimes. It's bizarre.
Really is. Literally, I'll make the most beautiful video. I'll be like, most beautiful clip. I'll be like, yeah, this is going to be the one, and it will be like 10,000 views. And then I'll make a random video that's like, I don't know, why does everybody break up at 27? And it's like 3 million views. Yeah. It's like, like I just could never figure it out. Yeah. Just got to keep making what you care about.
Yeah.
Stop trying to crack the code. Although there are people who definitely know how to crack the code. I'm just not one of those people. So
yeah.
Maggie knows how to crack the code.
Yeah, Maggie Sellers we're talking about from Hot Smart Rich.
She knows how to, she's so good at what she does.
Yeah, very good. As like a blanket thing of advice for podcasting, I feel like just start is obviously the best advice. But what advice do you have for me?
For you?
Yeah.
Oh, you're already doing it so well.
Like knowing what you know about the connection that you're able to foster with people, giving people what they want in terms of like what they're really curious about. A process is like a creative podcast. Do you think going into that, because I speak to people about their unique creative process.
Yeah, it's such a great idea.
But do you think I should be also looking at the authority of creative processes?
No, I think you should be talking more about yourself. I think actually if I was going to this is the only thing I can think of, is make some shorter episodes just with you.
Okay.
Because that's how you get people to really care. I would say maybe once every 2 weeks, commit to a 15-minute episode just with yourself.
Interesting.
About whatever is really interesting, about a creative thing that people might not know about.
Yeah.
About, you know, how you've been, about, I don't know, anything. Just 15 minutes, I would say. Do the short episodes.
Interesting.
And then...
We do them at the moment. They're called petites. And I do them at the moment every once a month, but I can do them more.
Yeah. Well, because I thought that you had a couple solo, but to be honest, I missed the petites. I'd only ever seen a couple longer ones. Mm-hmm. Did you do some longer ones at the beginning?
Yeah, they're probably like 30, 40 minutes.
Yeah, those are also really good. But yeah, petites are good. Just more social stuff, I think. Yeah. Your social stuff is so good. I think you're just in the waiting room right now. The audience is just with another customer right now, with another client. And then they're going to be like, wait, this one's so cool as well.
Interesting.
There's so much room for everyone though.
Yeah, which is so fun.
I know. Podcasting is the best that way. I think it's the same with music. Like, there's so much room for everybody.
Yeah.
Because nobody just listens to one podcast or listens to one artist.
Yeah.
You know, everybody wants to something new.
Yeah.
And you'll have one episode that just does really well and you'll just see it grow from there.
Yeah. Do you feel like you look at the world climate and that dictates, like at the moment, I feel like I need to step in and help the gals protect their creativity in crisis.
Yeah. I think you should do an episode about that.
How are you operating with the global situation and being like, okay, well, this is happening. How do I then, like, how reactive are you to the world?
In terms of my episodes?
Yeah.
Pretty
and
reactive.
Like that thinking.
Yeah, well, definitely, like, we've adapted, especially in the last couple of months and years, and talking more about uncertainty. A lot of our episodes now, we talk more about politics because we've noticed that people want us to talk about that more. Not just notice, but that's just something we talk about more.
Yeah.
Like, and I do say we're here because now I've got my researchers and I've got an agent, I've got people who do help with my decision making, and I was just like, that I just kind of didn't talk about it because I always thought people are gonna, I don't know, I just wanted it to be a safe space and to sometimes have a little bit of an oasis away from thinking about the world. And now we definitely talk about it more because it's just on everybody's minds.
Yeah.
And we are more directly linking episodes to like things that are going on in the world, being like, you're probably coming to this from this. Like, you're probably really worried about the future of AI because of this. So, like, let's make a whole episode about that. Or, like, you're probably really worried about the cost of living crisis because there's a literal war. Yeah. Well, let's talk about that. You're probably worried about the future because of the literal war. And, let's talk about that. And we do talk about it more in that way. You should do some episodes about that as well.
Well, it's been interesting. I got raised in hotels where you were never allowed to have an opinion. Because when you're, imagine a 4-story hotel and there's a restaurant at the bottom with a lobby and then like a big library. That was the setup of the hotel. And I literally remember days and like many, 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 many times in one single day, I would walk from the entrance to the restaurant, to the lobby, to the back office to see my parents, back to the restaurant, into a hotel room where my school bag was that was empty so I could just do my homework, whatever, like in that kind of operation. And because it was a family-owned hotel, very heavy hitters, like people like Andrew Forrest, and stuff would stay there and stuff. And he knew me by my first name.
Oh my God, cute.
And which is so cute. And like at the time only gave a shit because he like bought R.M. Williams. And I was like, cool, like this is sick. Like, wow, boots. Like I love those and whatever. Like little things like that where you have no idea who these people are. But then you've got all races, all religions, all types of people coming through. You've got the owners of the Couples. Do you remember that brand, the Couples? Like a New York fashion label.
Oh, it's still in London.
Yeah, and they're like totally kosher. So you've got the chefs dressing because you've got people coming through and they can't eat a certain type of food. You've got all these things and like just like all these bizarre little moments and everybody dealing with all sorts of complications around life and our differences. Yeah. So you're sort of taught to be so neutral and inviting in whatever way you see fit. Yeah. To have an opinion and put it out there as my stance is such a journey into womanhood and adulthood, but also something so foreign to me that I'm also like, I don't want to be like that. Yeah. So I sort of stay away from it, but then how appropriate is that now?
I know, and I've definitely had this thought, but I think for me it was like, if I'm having a reaction to something I'm seeing in the news and like my heart is hurting for it, it would actually be inauthentic to not share it. So that's really what I say. I always think is like, if I'm genuinely feeling like deep sadness about something or deep fear or uncertainty about something, like probably other people are feeling that as well. And I think you can disagree with like an opinion, but you can't disagree with like a deep emotion about it.
Yeah.
And about things that are going on in the world. And like, yeah, I don't know. It's hard though, because also you do open up the door to a lot more criticism, but I just am like, I also think people listening to the podcast, if they didn't know our politics by now, they probably aren't paying attention. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's pretty obvious we are for everyone, very liberal, very much like love thy neighbor, care for others. And if like whoever you are that doesn't do that, whether you're liberal or conservative, whatever, if you just don't do that, like you're not welcome.
Yeah.
But if you do that, like please come in. Like,
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I had somebody be like, the other day, I talked about like how it's really important to have like spirituality in my life. And this person was like, I didn't want to be lectured to about religion. Somebody actually commented and responded. It's like, I can't believe I had to, I didn't want to hear you talk about religion on here. By the way, didn't talk about religion, just talked about how it's important as humans to have some kind of higher spiritual practice, whether that is through prayer, whether it's through going to church, whether it's through, keeping kosher, whether it's through whatever it is that you find that connects you with a higher thing. And somebody actually responded and was like, you do realize this is her podcast, right? This is not your podcast. Like, this is hers. And that really is what made me feel better. I was like, yeah, I'll talk about what I want to. And I used to not do that, but now I'm like, it's okay if I piss people off, because I know I'm coming from a kind place of caring about everybody.
Yeah, okay.
But I talk about it with my friends all the time.
It's really interesting and hard to decide how to put something out there. Because they're like, well, if you do it for everybody, then you're doing it for nobody. And you're like, well,
I know. And I will say,
decisions.
like, sometimes you can't talk about all the suffering in the world. It's literally impossible. And that is the other thing that I struggle with. It's like, I spoke about, you speak about one thing and then it's like, and then people are like, well, you're not talking about this. It's like, we are talking generally about how we see pain and how we care for people who are in pain. And I don't know. And also we regularly donate. Like, we let people choose where proceeds of our revenue comes from, which I think has been an important thing.
Wow.
Yeah. So we do it every couple of months where we'll be like, oh, we just happened to get a really big ad deal that we weren't expecting and we don't really need this money. So where's it going to go? And I think that's important as well.
Is that the profit that goes back to you, or is that your whole collective team?
It's like fresh cash.
Okay.
If we get any fresh cash, normally we'll donate a percentage of it.
Wow.
It's like we didn't account for this like in our accounting for the year. So it's money to be shared in a way. I don't know. But that's not everybody's choice.
I'm so excited to see what you do when you get back to London and decompress. You leave tomorrow? Wednesday?
I leave tomorrow. Yeah.
Okay.
Leave tomorrow at like 5 p.m.
Oh my God.
It was a quick trip.
Very. You have been a huge beacon of light for Australian creative girlies. Whether you've actually kind of intellectualized that or not, there are so many women older than you, younger than you, looking up to you just for being consistent and doing something that you wanted to do and just doing it and finding its audience.
Wow, that's really cool. Thank you for saying that.
Well, I think but maybe
not always,
people don't tell you as kind of like chill and normal as this.
Yeah, I don't really think about it, to be honest. So I try not to, but when I do hear it from somebody, I always feel really grateful.
It's really amazing to see opportunity knock on the door of someone that's just fighting the good fight kind of solo. Tricky when someone like me has like Alex Cooper and Hot Smart Rich and all those people to look up to.
Like with Alex and Maggie, it's like, wow, like, is there room for anybody else?
Yeah.
And it's like, yeah. Heaps of room.
Yeah.
Heaps of room.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. And they're just the coolest. But also you're the coolest.
Thanks.
You have a great podcast. It's going to do amazing.
Thanks. I'm obsessed with yours. All the things that you said yesterday.
Hopefully we get to do more stuff like that. It'd be super fun.
Yeah, definitely. Thank you so much.
Thanks.
This podcast is a Tom production recorded on Aboriginal land.